All right, hi there. Good morning to you all. Day 5 of traveling with the Migrant Caravan here in Mexico. We are still in the state of Chiapas. We are just outside of Huixtla, and we are at one of the immigration checkpoints here. Basically, a customs checkpoint here to check vehicles, things like that. Customs, exactly what we would do in the U.S. This is a checkpoint here, and we're already seeing the Migrant Caravan approach here. Let me flip my camera around. And as you guys are joining, if you have any issues with my video, if audio is having any problems or anything like that, please let me know while we're getting set up and while people are joining, so that we can make sure that the feed is clear and that everybody can hear and see what's going on. Because we've had some issues with Facebook as of late. People are reporting my videos. It took a little while, but it's happening. So we're just making sure that we're good, that you guys can hear me. Either thumbs up or maybe the clap. Let me know if you guys got a good picture and everything is good on your end before we really get things going here. Okay, so again, you're seeing, this is day 5, Migrant Caravan here, approaching this checkpoint, customs checkpoint here. And what's really interesting here that we've been experiencing, they have not been met with any opposition other than day 1. When you guys saw them, I mean, there were about 6,000 immigrants, 6,000 people per Luis Migrant. He posted that to his Facebook page that there were 6,000 migrants now joined in the caravan from likely 20 different countries. And so you've got all of these folks here, and day 1 they basically barreled through National Guard in just seconds. Good morning. And so they have not been met with any opposition at all. Good morning. And this is the same, more of the same. What's really interesting to me is that the speculation of if they're going to be met with opposition, it keeps changing by the hour when you're talking to people in these caravans. One of them will come up to me and say, are we going to get detained? Are we going to get apprehended right now? Because they get told that through word of mouth, and then nothing happens. They just walk right through. And so I don't know if it is someone in the caravan continuing to instill fear in them so that they, are reliant, or if it's somebody trying to mess with the media so that, we conflate this and make it exacerbate the situation. I'm not really sure, but we are sticking with this. We are watching this. My thoughts on that is that it's kind of a strategy, because if they feel like they can move freely and like they are encouraged, like they were on day 1 after breaking through that blockade, there's not a lot of necessity to stay together like this group and need those group leaders. And that's just how life works, right? So we also were talking about, they kind of want to mess with the press a little bit here and there, but I think it's more word of mouth and just people getting restless, people getting tired, stressed out, and needing to kind of stay dependent on a leader, if you will, a guide. So okay, everybody good on my end? We're good. I haven't seen anybody saying that we've got any problems. All right, we are off to the races. Okay, all right, I'm gonna let you guys just kind of watch a little bit here as hundreds of migrants just continue their journey. A lot of people are like, there's no way they're walking. There's no way they're walking. They are walking. There has been instances in the past when that hasn't been the case, though. So, it's completely understandable for people to have questions about that, to not believe that is the truth. But, I mean, you can see, if you guys have been following me, they're wearing the same clothes. They're wearing the same shoes. I can tell you, if I could translate smell through the phone. Good morning, Jonathan. How are you? Good. Doing well. Little tired, but I'm sure you are too. Okay. Little tired? Yeah. Okay, so we've talked to, several people that we have found that speak English, that we've stayed in touch with to kind of keep along with their journey, to keep up with them, to ask them questions along the way. We found people that are open to sharing their stories and talking about, what their situations are, and just why they are trying to make this journey. What was really interesting with Jonathan earlier, I posted his video. He had told me that he wouldn't have ever attempted this journey under the previous administration. He said, I would have rather been killed by my own government than attempted this journey, which was really interesting. It was just interesting for me to hear. Okay, so we've got Griff Jenkins and the Fox crew here approaching this morning. They're hoofing it with the caravan. What up, guys? We always all find each other, you know. It's funny because when you're out here on this caravan, everybody's working together and everybody's good morning. Good morning, Oscar.
Morning. How are you?
Doing good. How are you? Good. Hanging in there? You guys are walking a lot today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were walking.
Yeah, we got back in the car to come up here because we were told they were going to be met with some opposition, and that is clearly not the case at all.
Yeah.
Not the case. Do you guys want me to move up here a little? I don't know if I need to be in your video. I mean, it's not that important. All right. Here we go, guys. All right, we're just going to keep...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, man, look at this. Pew, pew, pew.
Okay about your air conditioner.
All of it is good, man. I come prepared. I'm from Washington. I don't know about this stuff here. They're laughing. I got a fan. This is my hand fan that I carry around because I am very, very warm. Okay, so again, we are watching the caravan here moving through Mexico, moving north. The goal here that the caravan leaders tell us is to get to Mexico City. In Mexico City, they apparently have a meeting with a judge to get that protection claim solidified. So right now, the reason why we're being told that they are not being stopped really is because they are protected under that claim. And if any kind of law enforcement individual intercepts that and gets in between that, as in detains them, apprehends them, anything like that, then there is this human rights violation because they have a right to go see a judge with this protection claim. So that's kind of what's happening, why they're not being met with any opposition. And then the caravan leaders say if they are, they'll sue the Mexican president. So they are really trying not to have any violence, have any altercations, have any incidents where that is something that is problematic. So that's kind of why they're not being stopped. That's what we understand of why they're not being stopped. But again, we keep kind of hearing, oh, they might be met with opposition. And then we arrive, and then that opposition pushes further north. That unit, the group of National Guard troops, the border agents, they'll just move a couple miles down the way. And it's really, really interesting. But you can see the mass here is coming. You've got like waves of people, obviously, that come in. But you can see, here's the group approaching now. And they're chanting. And I believe once they start really... Let me ask Oscar what we're going to do. Oscar, are we going to walk with them in front of them? You're going to stand right there for the whole time?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just kind of let this play out a little bit so you guys can see what's going on here. So as far as Title 42, that's something that is in place. That's the Remain in Mexico policy. That is the health code that was put into place. Good morning. Hi. That was a health code that was put into place. That is one of our, the gentleman from Venezuela that we talked with earlier this week as well, that went through the Darien Gap and explained the really dangerous conditions there. So Title 42, what we learned from Customs and Border Protection stats and from the White House is that they sent back about one... Okay. And so they sent back 100,000 last month. The month prior, 90,000. So, but we're seeing more than 100,000 staying. So, you know, we are seeing those people being sent back, but we are seeing more people staying. Okay, so here we go. Here is the caravan here arriving at the customs. And we've got Irineo Mujica is right in front behind that cross there. He's one of the pretty radical activists. That guy in the shirt, it's a blue shirt with crowns on it. He is a gang member. He has tattoos that are clear gang member. There's Victor. He's got the American flag. He said that he will die for our country. So these folks, they all want their story told. They all want to get into America, most of them. Most of them do not want to stay in Mexico. So their goal is to get to Mexico City, is to see that judge for that protection claim. But it's also what Irineo Mujica is telling us. One of the caravan leaders says they're trying to actively pursue legal documentation so that they can work and live in Mexico if they want to. And I said, well, the majority of them that I talked to want to go to the U.S. And he said, well, that's their prerogative. We'll take them to Mexico City and allow them that opportunity if the judge will grant it, if the federal government here in Mexico will allow them to stay. But if they won't, then, you know, if they want to go up to the U.S., that's what they want to do. And so, but that's the majority of them. That's the truth of the matter here, right, is most of these people say that living and working in Mexico isn't worth it. The wages aren't worth it, and the jobs just aren't worth it. So that's what they're telling us. And so they want to go to the U.S. for, quote, a better life. They want the American dream. That is absolutely the reality here of this situation. So again, if you're just joining us, this is at Migrant Caravan. Thousands of people from about 20 different countries here represented, coming into this just outside of Huixtla. This is where they stayed for 2 days. That was when we had that big rainstorm. We stayed underneath that basketball court. That was 2 days ago when we stopped there. They took yesterday as a day of rest, and now today they're back on the move. They are back on this trail, and they are absolutely walking this. They're only covering about 10 miles a day. They have not made a ton of progress because it is extremely hot. Now, in previous caravans, there have been instances where they have been on carts, they have been on ATVs, they have been on tractors, things like that. Well, that was in 2019, and when that happened, the government here outlawed that. So now they are actually walking. You know, there's been speculation, when are the buses coming? And I've been told that there aren't any buses coming because they can't transport them via vehicle. They can walk. They can walk. So we're going to walk a little bit here this morning. I'm with Oscar Blue. Good morning to you. And we're going to stay and just kind of, I'll follow your lead. So whenever you're ready, we're staying together a little bit closer today than what I have in the past. Good morning. Than what I have in the past, because things are getting a little more volatile. People are getting a little more restless. Let me turn this back around here. So we're right in the middle. We're following this gentleman with the megaphone. I said, are you tired? No, Luis Migrant right here.
Luis, muy buenos días. Buenos días. Muchas especulaciones y mucha gente no afirma la cantidad. Hemos hablado primero de que iniciamos el sábado con una cantidad de 2,000. Ya se ha convertido en una caravana de 5,000. Y un post tuyo que pusiste 6,000. ¿Me puedes decir la cantidad de personas que llevas?
Nosotros estamos haciendo un censo, por eso vengo hasta la parte de atrás. Desde el día de antier estamos haciendo un censo, por eso decidimos detenernos un poco en Huixtla, un día completo. Tenemos más de 1,250 niños. Más de 500 de ellos son menores de edad. 1,250 menores de 7 años. Tenemos más de 65 mujeres, 3 embarazadas. 3 de ellas con más de 8 meses de embarazo, o sea, están por nacer. De toda esta gente, de todo este grupo que estamos viendo, se nos ha unido más gente. Ha llegado más gente. Yo considero que el día que entramos a Huixtla, íbamos 6,000, se podía hacer el recuento fácil, había más de 6,000. Entre más días pasan este éxodo, se van anexando mucha gente.
Entonces, 6,000, Luis.
6,000 personas.
Muchas gracias, Luis, muchas gracias. Eso es lo que te quería aclarar. Gracias, gracias,
You
gracias.
ask him how long until, no? We got to
Luis.
find out his time frame. Right here, that's that. How long do we expect this to take to get to Mexico City?
¿Cuánto tiempo esperan de llegar hasta la Ciudad de México, más o menos?
Nosotros vamos
Yes,
a,
sir.
nosotros
Yes, sir.
vamos a
I'm right
esperar llegar a los límites con Oaxaca, donde puede pasar lo que sea. No creemos llegar caminando, no me veo caminando por las cumbres
Yes,
de
sir, I'm
Maltrata
right here.
para llegar a la Ciudad de México. Por lo tanto, creemos que esto que está ocurriendo va a llamar la atención de las autoridades federales para que nos lleven a los niños en autobuses y en camiones. Eso es lo que esperamos, eso es lo que esperamos.
Gracias, señor. Gracias.
Vamos, compañeros, estamos pasando.
I'll keep walking, sir. I'll keep walking with them in the middle.
Aquí con nuestras mujeres y nuestros niños.
Okay, sir. Basically, he said that he knows that in the limits of Oaxaca, there's going to be customs that are going to try to stop them. So we are walking little by little, but we think that it's going to be more than 20 days.
More than 20 days, they think, to get to Mexico City. For anybody watching and listening, they believe that they'll be met with opposition because of restrictions in the state of Oaxaca. Right now, we are still in Chiapas. We have not made a ton of progress here, as they're only making about 10 miles a day. Yesterday was a day of rest. So they've only gone probably 36 miles in 5 days. Mexican customs right now, you can see no opposition, they're taking photos. Hola.
All right.
Okay, lots of kids, and that's all, you know. When they put this out on Facebook, all these people learned about it via Facebook. They were all in Tapachula, some of them for months, and they were basically, what they tell me was that they were basically held prisoner in Tapachula. They weren't able to leave because they weren't given any papers, and they also weren't able, okay, we literally have National Guard like bringing up the rear here. This is wild. This is the most wild thing I've ever experienced. Okay, my friends, flipping this back around. We are literally, oh yeah, stop, alto, nah. We're just gonna keep walking. All right, guys, here we go. Oh, good thing that arm comes down, because that's stopping us there. Let's just get, this is wild, man. What's going on? Can we get this gate to open? Oh, wait, just walk around, it's fine. Oh, there it goes. So they're not even getting a single ounce of opposition. Not even, oh man. Holy. We're in the back of the caravan right now. This is Luis Migrant. He is one of the activists, one of the caravan leaders. Oh no.
Hola, compañero.
Ayúdenlo.
¿Qué se desmayó?
No, se cayó.
Oh God. He's with Fox. I hope he's
Vámonos,
okay.
caminemos.
Oh wow. I don't know if he was walking and hit something or what, but
Vámonos.
okay, so Luis is in front of us right now. We're kind of going to stick with him a little bit. He's encouraging them. You know, I've heard him ask, are you guys tired? They say no. He's the one that's kind of saying, hey, we made it, we got it, you know, and everybody's cheering. And then Irenejo Mojica, he is in the very front. And he's the one that's kind of getting them the libertad and si se puede. So they're kind of two different leaders. Okay, so 1 kilometer they're going to rest. How far is 1 kilometer in miles?
I think it's half a mile.
Half a mile. Okay, so they got a half a mile. He's encouraging them, you know, don't get tired. We got this. You got little ones sleeping, little ones up here on shoulders everywhere. Just hoofing it. All right, so we're walking in the caravan right now. And he said there's 6,500?
6,000.
Okay, just 6,000 at this juncture. And did he tell you how he counted those? More than 1,200 women?
1,200 children.
More than 1,200 children, 6,000 people in the caravan.
Más de 1,200 niños.
Se podría decir que esta marcha es una marcha de los niños.
Una marcha de los
Tenemos
niños.
más de
a march of the kids.
1.250
This
niños.
march is a march of the children.
Así
Yep.
es, así es.
It's a march, 1,200 niños. Mujeres, ¿cuántos más o menos le calculas? Women, how many you calculating?
Entre mujeres y niños hay más de 3,000 personas.
Between women and children, there are more than 3,000 people.
Okay, so there's half women and children, more than half. Now ask him how he gets that number. How do we count
¿Cómo,
this?
cómo
Vamos a
tomas
entregar.
ese número tú?
Estamos tomándolo, hoy voy a terminar el censo en el primer descanso, ya
I
vamos
do
a
a
hacer,
census at every
vamos a hacer
part
un
that I
censo
stop.
ya
I do
oficial
a census
y
and,
lo vamos a entregar a la prensa.
and then I give it to the press. I will do a
Solamente
census, a
con
final
los datos,
census.
no nombres ni nacionalidad.
I just give accurate numbers. No, I don't give nationalities or
Okay.
entities.
Well, when he posted on Facebook, he said about 20 nationalities like anticipated
Yeah, but he
around
doesn't
here.
want to give it right now.
Okay.
Te busco para que me des el número
Claro.
cuando lo hagas el censo.
Claro, hoy lo tenemos en la ruta
Okay.
de Carlos.
Get the number when we get there?
I will find you when we get the
Okay.
nationalities. He said yes.
Okay, great.
Or the number.
Great.
But he's saying roughly it has grown through 6,000.
Okay, and we've got, you guys heard him, there's more than 3,000, there's more than 3,000 women and kids, so that means if there's 6,000 here, then we got more than 50%. There you go, guys. Got more than 50% women and kids here in this caravan. As you just heard, the caravan leader, he says he takes a census every time they stop, so they are able to get some kind of documentation of who's here for people that were wondering, because we certainly were. Okay. Let's see. Any questions, you guys? If you have them, I'm here trying to ask questions, trying to answer as many as I can. Let's see. Okay. Nothing really to write home about yet. If you guys have a question, a burning question, Oscar might be able to help me answer it. I might be able to answer it, or we might be able to get a leader to give us some info. So ask away. I'll try to keep an eye. All right, again, if you're just joining us here, we are on the way to Mapastepec. We are outside of Huixtla. We're going to stop in about a half a mile. They've been traveling about 10 miles a day, roughly, and then we take pretty solid breaks. Yesterday, they took a full day of rest. You can see people are visibly sweating, obviously. They're in the clothing that they've been in for 5 days now. This is day 5. And if I could translate, could send smell through the phone, I would, but I can't. But they were able to kind of jump in the river, cool off a little bit. Everybody got soaking wet the other day, 2 days ago. And so yesterday when we were in Huixtla, they all were drying out their clothes. They were all, making sure that, they had an opportunity to kind of clean things up a little. Mother Nature's laundromat a little bit there, right? All right, guys. Any questions? Anybody watching that has anything? Okay, so who's sponsoring them once they're in here? Okay, so I haven't really figured out exactly what entails being a sponsor, but I have met a couple who have said that they're sponsoring people, and basically, I believe that
The signal's kind of cut off.
I believe that you, it's going to be through our government, obviously, and you kind of have to act as a legal guardian to these people coming through, so you take responsibility if something happens, right? If they don't have family. That's kind of what I understand. So I do have to dig into that a little bit more, but that is really interesting. Okay, so someone asks, hi Nick, am I staying safe? Yes, we are safe, we are safe. Little kid is just exhausted, man. These people are struggling for sure. All right, we're just gonna keep walking. You guys can keep watching. So a lot of people have noticed and have been seeing that they have a lot of security forces, Texas DPS, National Guard, things like that set up around Texas. There is no definitive proof of where these people are planning to cross. There are all these wild numbers being thrown out as well. But what I can tell you is that through Comar, it's the Commission of Refugees that's in Tapachula, has confirmed that there were 90,000 asylum applications. And that means they're applying to stay in Mexico, right? Now that was, they said that some of those people were some of the Haitians that might have been under the bridge in Del Rio. So they expect about 60 to 70,000 people, and this came from one of the district leaders as well, to still be throughout the southern part of Mexico. Now, they're not mobilized. I don't know what the plans for mobilization are, if there are any. That's all speculative at that point, and I don't play that game. So I will continue to dig, continue to find out. I have been working with law enforcement in Texas on the U.S. side to try to figure out, exactly what that looks like, what they're anticipating, things like that. But a lot of people are also asking, where are they going to be crossing into? Well, we don't know that either. They're not going to openly say, hey, this is where we're going to go. So the thing is, you got to keep in mind, they are aware, especially the caravan leaders, are aware of where they have extra security forces, where the border is secure, so to speak. So they're probably not going to try to breach the same place that they've done before, because they know they're going to be faced with prepared opposition, right? So there are some speculative things about where they might be going. Some people have said Arizona, some people have said El Paso. So again, please don't jump to conclusions yet. We are going to continue to stay digging into this and listening ear to the ground. We have boots on the ground. We're trying to get as much information as possible as we can for you guys. But again, we have no definitive proof of where they're going to be going, and we have no definitive proof that there are, 60,000 rushing to the border. And the 30,000 number that is going to be at the border in a week, that also is non-confirmed. There is not a single source, single site, anything out there that has been able to confirm that either. So I'm not sure where mainstream media is getting that number. The 30,000 is probably the most wild one that I've seen, because that one is just so unconfirmed. 60,000, at least I know where that came from, because that came from Comar, that came from the Commission of Refugees, and so that makes a little more sense. So it's just, if you guys have any links to back up, any of those numbers, that always is helpful. If you guys are gonna make bold claims, bold statements, drop a link too, because then we can all learn. We can all learn from each other. We can all have a conversation. So if you're going to make a wild statement or claim, please drop some proof to back it up, because we're all about transparency here on Allie Bradley TV. Okay. So we have talked to a lot of folks that are, let me raise this up a little bit more so you guys can see a little bit more. We have talked to a lot of folks who are from West Africa. We've talked to a lot of people from Venezuela. Now, I will say there is a very small handful of Haitians in this group, but nothing like what we were seeing in Del Rio. This is mostly Central American countries, and then, yes, we have some, of course, West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and Venezuela. And so the other thing is you have, when you have people from Venezuela and Nigeria and Ghana, a lot of them have a legitimate asylum claim, right? They are actually fleeing persecution or communist countries, things like that. Now, I asked one man yesterday, I asked Jonathan, why aren't you going through this process legally? Why aren't you going to the point of entry and talking to Border Patrol and, going through the legal way? And he said they tried that in Mali, but they would not give them any documentation to advance, and they would not help them with their citizenship request. So they had no choice but to leave. They ended up in Tapachula and heard about this caravan on Facebook. That is legitimately what's happening here. They learned about this caravan on Facebook, and now we're at 6,000 strong here. We've picked up some people along the way. We started with about 1,000, maybe 2,000 when we left Tapachula, and now we're at 6,000, and we have 3,000 plus women and kids. That is the most that, talking to other people who have been covering this for years, this is a very heavy women and children caravan. And as you just heard, Luis Villagrande, this is a march of the children. This is a march of the kids, you guys. So this is strategy, right? Like they're bringing in families, and we know that family units have different chances of getting into the U.S. Look at these little kiddos. Again, these kids didn't ask for this. This is so hard. This is impossible. They are legitimately walking this, though. For you guys who have definitely thought that that's not the case.
Court date that they have with the federal judge and the protection claim in Mexico, and they got 20 days to do that.
So we asked Luis Villagrán when they think that they'll make it to Mexico City, and he said roughly 20 days. And the protection claim that they have protects them for about 20 days. And so in Oaxaca, the next place that we would breach, basically the next state that they would get into, they are claiming that there are different kind of rules and different opposition that they'll be met with in Oaxaca, which is the next state. But again, I've been telling you that it's been really interesting because they keep kind of stoking fear. Like they keep saying, oh, we're going to be met with opposition. And there is zero. You guys have seen it now. You have witnessed what we're witnessing, where they are literally walking right past law enforcement. You just saw, 6 National Guard troops just standing there. They can't do anything with this protection claim because they have to go, they have this appointment to see a judge. And if the judge, if they are detained before they are able to see a judge, if they are apprehended before they see a judge, that's a violation of their human rights. Look at, there's National Guard. There they are. Good. Just driving by. See, maybe we just wave. Bye. It's wild, man.
Yes, we're coming because Joe Biden invited us.
They're all. What's really crazy is I talked to a man from Nigeria who told me he wouldn't have even tried this if he was under the Trump administration. Wild. Okay. Where do they get food and water? Actually, a lot of them don't have food and water. I mean, she's carrying literally like Gatorade in a bag. You guys, so they like ask us for water a lot of times. They don't have food and water. In Huixtla, when we stopped, they were given a little bag of rice and a piece of bread. They have some water here and there. They have some medic tents set up by like organizations, kind of nonprofits, if you will. And those folks help them out. I've even seen some feet washing happening, which is really interesting. But they are kind of provided those provisions, emergency needs. So if they are heat exhausted, things like that, they might be given a bottle of water. But they also have, when we were in Huixtla, they had a church that was helping. St. Francis de Assis was helping, and then they actually stayed the night. The women and children stayed the night in that church, but they were provided food through the church. And so there are also people that have been watching this and have been donating. Straight up donating. So that's the thing. If you go to Luis Villagrán's page, I want to pull over here. If you go to Luis Villagrán's page, he literally says the need is great. We need everything. And so people donate. So do you want to walk up ahead these cars? Okay. People donate, and they are like, cool. All right, here's I think some guy in Georgia, Griff Jenkins with Fox News was telling me donated like 50 chickens or something and some money. So you got people donating. So when you ask where they're getting food and stuff like that, that's part of it. The other thing is a lot of these people tell me, they're not going to lie, they do in fact have family members and people in the States that will help them. So when they stop at these cities and stuff like that, there are, different ways that they can get money from family and from friends and eat and things like that. So, okay, we are right in the middle of this, walking ahead with the caravan. So again, if you are just joining, we are walking north through Mexico with 6,000 migrants from mostly Central American countries, some from Africa, some from Venezuela as well. If you guys have questions, let me know. What's been really frustrating, I think, for all journalists is none of us have been able to definitively say this is black and white and where the money is coming from. I wish we had that answer. We're going to keep fighting for that answer. Okay, so apparently this is where they're going to stop. That was definitely, maybe it was a half a mile, I don't know. But this is what happens, y'all. They're just post up on the side of the road. You gotta take a minute, gotta take a break.
Some kind of irregularity with them.
So you're watching this play out here. We continue to walk forward, walk north. The goal here, 20 days to get to Mexico City, where they will see a judge to validate that protection claim and try to get live and work documents so the people that want to live and work in Mexico can do so. If they don't, which the majority of them don't because they said the wages aren't worth it, they'll continue on and try their hand at getting into the U.S. And that is what the majority tell me they want to do, is get into the U.S. They want the American dream. Okay, guys, if you guys have questions, let me know. Oscar's kind of guiding me here. We are in the thick of it, y'all. And the other thing is we're 5 days in. These people are tired. These people are hot. I don't know if they knew this is what they were signing up for, because in past caravans they've been able to kind of hitch a ride, or hop on a tractor, get on some wheels. No, this time they gotta walk, and I think that's kind of strategy too. There we go. Here's Victor this morning.
Sir, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Sally. Hi, how are
You got the flag, huh?
Yes, it does.
Got to represent? All right, man.
No.
Okay.
You see Brett?
What?
Looking for Brett.
I think one of your photogs had like a little. Is he okay?
I don't know.
I'm following you now, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Ruth. How are you?
I'm good.
This is Fox Crew. We're all like, man, you guys are.
Doing that, I've got a fan on my neck.
You are so smart, girl. Did you go buy that at Walmart? Smart. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Good luck. Okay, so Griffin crew back there. Okay, we are continuing to walk here. I got my camera flipped around now so you guys can see kind of a different perspective and see my very sweaty face. So yeah, we are. Oh, there's Ben back there from London. And again, it's really wild too because there's so many not so many. There's a handful of journalists out here. Periodistas. There's a handful of us out here, and when you're in the States, and even here when this isn't going on, it's kind of like competition, very competitive amongst journalists. Here, everyone's helping, sharing. I mean, it's not about being first or breaking news in this caravan. Oh, sorry. It's about exposing what's happening, about sharing the truth, and that is all of our mission. We all report independent. I report independently. Obviously, Griff is with Fox. Oscar's independent as well, and same with Carlos. But we all report independently. We're walking together, safety in numbers. We all stay together.
Muchas gracias, Ireneo. Ha sido muy amable, Ireneo. Muchas gracias. Ireneo, la cantidad de gente, salimos con 2,000 y ahora se especula que son 5,000. ¿Es un número correcto?
Pues es un número grande y sí parecen 5,000, se sienten como 5,000.
Hay muchísimos niños y muchísimas mujeres. ¿Puede decir que esta caravana es la caravana que ha tenido más niños en la historia?
Probablemente sí, es la caravana que tiene más niños. Lo que pasa es que la contención ha dejado a muchas de las familias que no pueden salir. Pues por esa razón fueron la que salió con niños. Pero esta caravana es bien claro. Esta caravana tiene que ir a la Ciudad de México porque México tiene una responsabilidad. Estados Unidos toma sus responsabilidades, pero también México debe de tomar migrantes.
Si los paran, estarían violando su derecho de ser escuchados en una corte federal.
Claro, pero aquí lo que se necesita es la conciencia de parte de México, porque lo único que hace es tomar dinero de los Estados Unidos, porque la frontera está muy fortificada y mucha de esta gente o se queda en las fronteras, pero si no tiene una forma de trabajar, usualmente tiende a tener que cruzar. Si les dan una oportunidad de trabajar en México, México no está tan mal. Muchos de los haitianos no quieren ir. La solución no es que todos sea punto A, punto B. Es una estrategia para poder empujarlos a veces. Por esa razón esta va a México. Hay que cambiar eso. Hay que hacer a México responsable.
Yeah, hold on. Irenejo, is there a reason why they think that they're going to be met with opposition even though they have a protection claim?
They haven't since 2019. No caravan has made it even like this far, except what's happened is the contention has created this mess, and The opposition is there. They have tried. It's just too many and too risky for them to crush all these kids.
Have you heard at all from the American administration, from the Biden administration at all about what's going on? And I know you're an American citizen as well, so have you been reached out to at all from the U.S. about what's going on here?
No government has reached out. The only solution that they have is to have this. But I would love to talk to the American Biden administration, because what they're doing is wrong. They're just throwing money into Mexico and to politicians that are corrupt. And we actually can make Mexico, if they're going to give Mexico to be responsible. Look, no human being wants to look and have all these kids. Mexico can take part of his work and actually give these people a chance to live. If they want to go, they could go, but they can at least try and see a life in Mexico. Life in Mexico is not that bad. Some of those countries are worse.
So in Del Rio, we saw that immigration, obviously, we saw 30,000 Haitians over 2 weeks come across under that bridge. Now tell me, even the secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas, said immigration system in the U.S. is broken. Have they done anything? Have you heard anything about immigration reform in the U.S.? It's been over a month now since we saw that huge surge in Del Rio. Have you heard anything about movement on immigration in the U.S. as far as reform goes?
Immigration reform?
Yeah, are they doing anything in the U.S. that you know about that they're trying to help immigration?
I don't believe the Biden administration is serious about any immigration reform. I know they are saying things, but then every government has been using it. It's good for the Republicans, it's good for the Democrats. They use it as a campaign, but the Biden administration hasn't changed anything. I think the Biden administration is just playing politics.
Why do you think they're allowing it? A lot of people have told us that they'll be Biden voters for life once they get in. So is that why you think they're allowing it, or why do you think Biden's allowing it then?
No, it's because I think most of the Latinos, once the Republican learn that a lot of the Hispanic vote is actually a vote that is really conservative values. And if they allow them, and where they will, sooner or later, the Republicans will allow the Latinos to enter into the block of voting, they can easily, and my family, all my family voted for Bush, the Bush family, the Reagan family, all of us have voted for Republicans.
But everyone here is saying they're going to vote Democrat.
They can't even vote here. I mean, they're not, maybe if you ask them, they don't know what Democrat or Republican is, but
actually, like you said, you voted and supported Bush. They would support Biden, so it just depends on if they're
No, it depends on what you are, what your values are, what they claim. I think I don't register myself as Democrat. I vote myself as according to whoever is on the ticket, whether I believe it or not.
Okay. Now, a lot of people are asking, Ernejo, how this is being funded. Where's the money? I mean, they don't have things.
I wish I can tell you. I'll show you my wallet. I show you my wallet here.
Is it through donations?
See, this is my wallet. This is my money. This is all I got. You seen my clothes? Here. It's all I got. Who's pounding it? 50 pesos. That's all I got. They've been buying me daily food. Everybody's got to take their own money. I don't give you any money. You don't give me any money. We're just finding a solution.
Are you asking for donations? I know on Luis Villagrán's Facebook page, he said the need is great. We need everything. I mean, you guys don't have anything. Are people donating and helping through the U.S.?
They should, because a lot of the kids, like I wish, not money, but I wish they have these carriages. It hurt me to see
strollers.
Strollers. I wish they had some food. Sometimes, a lot of, especially the women that are carrying, is something that I can. The other day, wheelchairs, a lot of people are, if they could, things like that. But the towns are donating sometimes food or water or whatever. I don't know. I think we're strong.
Yeah. Do you think it's fair? I mean, this is really hard for people to do this walk. Like you said, no caravans made it this far, especially on foot. So do you think, a lot of them I've talked to don't even know that their economic claims and things like that, or if they've been deported once, they don't even have really a chance to get back into the U.S. Do you think that they deserve to know those things, or is anyone telling them that?
You know, it's really hard to me. It's one of the reasons why I said Mexico City, and I'm not going far, because sooner or later, if they got a paper and they realize they cannot cross the American border, and then they'll start working. And I know a lot of my friends, they live over there, they made a life, they made a business, and then they change. A lot of people, like you said, have hopes, and then the reality sinks in once you really see it. And then these people right here, if Mexico will give them papers, half of them will stay. But Mexico does not want people to stay. He wants them to go. You know, this administration has been a search on immigration, but this administration hasn't given them anybody's residency papers. It's all just.
But you just said half of them will stay, so you know that half of them have the intention of keep
We'll
on moving.
try.
So aren't you
We'll try.
kind of contributing to a problem that with illegal immigration into the U.S. if you know half of them don't want to stay?
What are you gonna do? They're already here in Mexico. All of them will go if we don't find a way to make Mexico responsible. Half of them will want to go. Of course they will try.
Yeah.
But when they have a paper, at least some of them will at least consider. Instead of pushing all of them, just give them a solution.
Well,
I'm not naive. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna tell you, hey, everybody's gonna stay here. No, they will try, and that's where the American border is secure, or that's what it does.
So we just traveled across from Guatemala on a raft for $2 or whatever. Obviously, this impact is through many countries. It's not just Mexico. It's not just the U.S. Do you think other countries need to take some responsibility for what's going on?
Of course. Please, God. Everybody should be like what we're trying to do, Mexico do. I think the solution, like you said, is not that everybody goes. We should have Panama take some. Everybody should be taking some. But then not just give them like, hey, we're going to give them food and we're going to hold them for you for a while. No, give them papers so they can work and stay. This caravan wants freedom, but wants also papers. Work here where you're at. If Panama give them work, they can stay and work.
Okay.
A lot of the people from the countries they came out, they say we came out because they took our papers, that we couldn't work. That's what every country is doing. They push it in immigration, pushing it. That's why everybody.
That's what the Nigerians were saying happened in Mali as well. So it's happening in so many places, and you're just saying they want.
The government has enough to pressure the governments to give them the documents to work. If you give the documents to work, they will. A lot of them will stay.
And now you were born in the States, right? You are.
No, I was born here.
Okay.
And I'm an American citizen.
Okay.
I lived my life since a kid.
So how do you feel when all the there's a lot of Americans that are like, go back, we don't want people here. You have dual citizenship. You live in America too. You have that right. So how does it make you feel to be advocating and fighting for your people, and also seeing that hatred coming from your other side?
I think it's a point of view. I think it is just two sides of the issue, two sides to the coin. And a lot of times I think we gotta talk. Like a lot of times they tell me, a lot of people, don't talk to folks. Why not? Why not talk to folks? I mean, we live in the same country. We have the same values. I mean, I have some Latino values, but I also was raised in America, and I got American values. So, and I don't got anything wrong against, I voted Republican, so I mean, I haven't.
Irene, hubo un problema, se va a empezar a acercar esto, y esto sucede en cada caravana. Se acerca muchísimo coyote, se acerca muchísimo traficante a la caravana. Hubo un incidente el día de ayer que se registró, que se acercó un canijo y sacó dinero. ¿Es cierto eso? Que se están acercando ya personas de poco a poco, los peligros que se extienden ustedes, ¿no?
Mira, aquí en esta caravana, la mayoría de esta gente es bien chismosa y me tiene confianza. Si alguien está haciendo coyotaje, por ejemplo, ayer venía un señor que dijiste, un señor que llegó, él no estaba llevando a nadie, había estafado allá. Y una de las mujeres vino a decirnos que él había estafado a otras mujeres y que venía en la caravana y lo reconocieron. Y cuando lo reconocieron, los estafó en Tapachula. Y acá yo se lo entregué al oficial. ¿Por qué?
La actual administración de Morena es un completo desastre, Irineo, con inmigración. Un completo desastre. Llevan ya, no solamente desde Morena, sino desde Enrique Peña Nieto, ya vamos para 5, casi 6 años, que es lo mismo, Irineo. O sea, ¿y cuándo se va a componer la administración? Y el mensaje sobre Andrés Manuel López Obrador, ¿a cuándo va a componer esto si esto es una razón, una crisis humanitaria?
No sé, pero, o sea, como estaba diciendo la compañera, necesitamos que también las otras naciones tomen un poco de responsabilidad, pero comencemos con México, ya que estamos en México. Porque la administración, si les da una oportunidad, créeme, yo lo he visto. Cuando les dan papeles y trabajo, la gente puede buscar y empieza a hacer familia y en ciertas raíces.
Un ejemplo fue Tijuana, llegaron 15,000 migrantes en el 2015 y muchos de ellos se adaptaron, se graduaron, fueron a la universidad, pusieron sus negocios, trabajan en fábricas. Sí se han adaptado unos miles de migrantes haitianos en Tijuana.
Sí, claro, se van adaptando. El problema es que debe de haber las condiciones. Por ejemplo, hay muchos lugares, por ejemplo, donde se necesita la mano de obra, igual que en los Estados Unidos. Van y traen de gente del sur para ponerla a trabajar en los campos, para ponerla. En México hay mucho trabajo, pero el problema es que, pues, o sea, no te dan un documento porque la idea es que todo mundo tiene que ir, van de paso. No, México también necesita ser responsable.
Okay. Muchísimas gracias, Irene. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Good to see you today.
Good to see you.
Do you need anything else? You good? Okay. Gracias, señor. Okay. He's going to keep doing his thing. You guys remember during the Trump administration.
You want to go? We roll all the way to over there. You want to catch
All the
it
way
with me?
through? Yeah. So if you guys remember, Irineo Mujica was actually apprehended back in 2019 under the Trump administration because Trump administration was actually really pushing really hard on immigration reform and cracking down on immigration, and so the Mexican officials apprehended him, and he was actually detained for a while. But now, obviously, he is out doing his thing and leading this caravan. So I'm actually going to get out of this live feed and I'm going to get some video because at this juncture, you guys are just watching people take a rest. So again, if you guys are just joining, we are in between Huixtla and Mapastepec. So excuse me if I am mispronouncing any of that. So we are, again, with about 6,000 migrants. That was confirmed from Luis Migrant. He is one of the caravan organizers and leaders. Confirmed 6,000 people here, and he gets those numbers from a census each time he stops. He goes and kind of takes account. And then also there's more than 3,000 women and kids. So we have more than 50% of this caravan is women and kids. So we're going to keep following this. We're going to keep checking in with people. And if you guys have questions, message me, DM me, we'll chat. We certainly have a lot of layers to this right now. So we'll be checking in here in a little bit, but I'm going to get some video and things like that. So thanks for your support. Thanks for following along. We'll check in just a little bit. Stay safe, my friends.